hopefully we're recording and it's going to hear everyone.
Is your mic like facing a weird direction, Steve, or something?
My mic is about 3 centimeters away from my mouth.
Alright.
It does sound a bit muffled, eh?
Yeah, it sounds a bit muffled, like it's like twisted or something, or... Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, kind of like the Swedish chef.
Excellent. Borst. Anyway.
We're gonna make the chocolate mousse.
That's the one.
First you get the chocolate. Chocolate.
Then you'll get the mousse.
Here, mousse.
Yeah. That's a good one. Okay, so just quickly going over what you found out last time. What did you find out?
So we found out that the boat that was attacked was belonging to some bunch of what was his name? Somebody or other, Khalid or something like that.
Tyrans.
It's all flooding back to me now.
Khalid or something.
Yep.
And he this Black Simba.
Yeah, no, Black. Yeah, it's gone through several different incarnations. It's Black Sabbat, and that's it.
The Black Sabbat.
Yeah, Black
All I
Sabbat.
remember is that there were a lot of people fucking about the.
I remember we were talking about our options for what we're going to do, and the plan was to get out of town before the Inquisition get here, and we were going to stop by the swamp town on the way to the other town. I can't remember its name now. The one that we think may be involved with all this stuff. We're going to check the swamp town that's next to. Yeah, we're going to check the swamp town that's next to the dragon on the way.
Coombe.
Yep. Yeah, Coombe, and then we're going to continue to. What was the other city up north?
Big one.
Yeah, the big one. Calanthra. That's right.
That's right.
Calanthra. Yeah. That was the plan. The plan was to get out of Dodge before the Inquisition gets here, because yeah, they hauled that bloke away that we were talking to, and we think they might come for us next potentially.
Mm-hmm.
So and so was trying to be a guard, or.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's where we landed at the end.
Okay.
And Sid was sneaking in through a window or something, or no, he came and he told us stuff, and then yeah, I remember.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So you're at the little inn making your plan, worried about the Inquisitors.
Worried about the Inquisitors?
Yep, coming to collect you. Yep.
And well, if everyone else had pretty much agreed to the plan, right?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I reckon we should basically. We were going to charter a boat to the swamp, weren't we?
Don't know if you're going to charter a boat, but you're going to try to get onto a boat. Yes.
Okay.
Chartering a boat would be very expensive.
Okay, well, jumping on a boat or jumping on something to get there.
Yep.
What would the options be? So chartering a boat would be chartering your own boat, right?
You would basically finding someone to take you there. Yes.
Yeah, just booking passage on a boat, basically. Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to have to go down to the docks for that, or you can call into the Merchants Guild where they post the boats sailing in and out of the port. Or you have to walk the docks and see by talking who's going where, and
my gut instinct is to stay away from the docks just for this second, and if there's another way we can find book a passage on a boat, like through the Merchants Guild.
Yep.
My gut instinct would be to go there first instead of just walking the docks, sort of inviting danger from Inquisition, etc.
Are you all going, or just some of you?
Well, I'll go if anyone wants to come with me. That's cool.
Lomax will go with you.
Cool.
Excellent.
Okay.
So is this the next morning? After we'd all...
Well, they were coming later that night, so you guys thought it was very quick to,
Alright, maybe instantly then. Maybe we just go then straight away. Yeah, before sleep and whatnot. Yep. Alright. So we head out immediately. Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. We tell everyone else to get their things ready.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, you should go
You get down. It's getting late. There's the usual sort of traffic, early evening traffic. The taverns are starting to get a bit loud.
Based on everything, do we know what the tide's likely to be doing at this time? Like, is it going out? Because that'll be the next time any boats are going to be leaving.
Rightio. Well, you would be the person because I just need to get an intelligence check from you. It's sort of your
Intelligence check, D20 or 3d6 or whatever.
3D.
Sorry?
3d6. Hang on. 46. 46. That's
46.
got a chance of going over.
Where the frick's the damn dice roller? Out by 1.
Okay. You're not really sure what's happening with the tides, but you would know where to go to ask somebody. You'd sort of know who to ask on if you could just quickly get it to, close to the
feel like-
docks.
Yeah, I feel like if anyone's going to go down the docks, it'd probably be Melody, who's sort of more, she's got more dock swagger.
Yep.
And wouldn't stand out as much. So if anyone's going to ask around the docks for information, then I'd say Melody would be the go.
Mhm.
That's if you want to expose yourself, but it's up to you. We can always, me and Lomax can always just go to the Merchants Guild and see what we turn up there.
Okay, so you and Lomax are off looking at the Merchants Guild. What's Melody doing?
Melody is indeed going to head down to the docks and use any maybe connections she has with any of the boats she knows.
Okay. Well, the next tide to go out would be in about 2 hours.
Okay, so yeah,
Perfect.
good time.
And the person you're talking to at the dock sort of points you out to. It's a sort of a. It's not a ship that you'd really want to get on, but it's a low sort of fishing cum cargo hauler sort of ship. It's got a wide bottom, so it can get easily into close to the shore and that sort of stuff.
And
not a particularly fast ship.
Given the swampy area around, Coon's likely to be shallow. That might be a good thing.
Yep.
And it's the sort of place that such a boat might want to go, so it might be a little bit less conspicuous as hiring a bigger boat to get to such a location.
Right. So
Yeah.
You're walking over to talk to the folks.
Yeah, I'm.
Okay, there's a guy leaning on the post as you got one of those boards going up. There's a guy leaning at the top of the board, just looking.
Yep. I'll sort of, swagger up. Does it look like they're getting ready to head out? Or
There is some business, and people are getting stuff ready on board the deck and storing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll swagger up and would you be the captain of this fine vessel?
No, I would be the first mate.
Sorry?
I would be the first mate.
Where would I find the captain?
You'd find them in some tavern somewhere.
Okay. Right. So, no ideas which of the taverns he's likely to be in?
Sent the boys out trying to look already because we're due to leave soon.
Right. Well, then I have a business proposition for you that you might be able to sort of accept on behalf of the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Me and some associates of mine have an urgent communication/errand. No, message would be the best word for him, wouldn't it? That needs to. Oh, can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Sworn everything just died. There we go, and I'm back.
Cool.
Yeah, we have an urgent message that needs to be delivered to the village of Coon.
Cool. Oh.
Yeah. So we were wondering if your vessel, being the sort of shallow bottom vessel it is that could get us there and do it safely, might be interested in passage there for me and what are we, 5 others, 6 others?
6 altogether. 7 altogether. 7
Sorry,
altogether.
7 altogether.
Yeah.
So yeah, for seven folk.
Right. Well. This is wouldn't be
would
much
be-
of a passage. You'd have to sleep on deck. You have to share the.
On a donkey
Oh,
and cart.
The conditions aren't so much the problem, it's the fact that it looks like your boat's ready to sail on the tide. And we would be willing to obviously compensate fairly.
Fairly. It sounds like you're really needing to leave for Coombe.
Uh-oh.
Like I say, messages of urgent importance. So I do believe I'm permitted to offer at this point 30 silver pieces.
For
Yeah.
7 of you.
7.
And hopefully you would remember that Lomax actually comes as there's a 0.5 attached with Lomax.
Oh, is he bringing his fucking donkey?
Oh, yeah.
And by fucking donkey, I'm not too sure what he does with that thing.
But anyway,
Sorry. Yes, plus the donkey, yeah. I wish
And I
that
use
said
them,
more, that donkey
and I
was
use them
included
as
in my-
cover from trading.
that's right.
Yeah. Alright. I just don't know what the other bloody team members have got in the way of coins. Did no one come with me?
Nope. 30 silver.
So yeah,
To
30
Coombe.
silver. The equivalent of 3 gold.
You, 6 other people and a donkey.
Yep.
Well,
You would have an idea of what we would have, wouldn't you?
I just don't want to be offering too much of other people's coinage.
Yeah. No, you'd have an idea that we have a reasonable amount of coin. Like, a lot of people have put coin in the training fund the training fund, but you know that we have, 30 silver isn't that much for us. You'd know that for sure.
Well, it's 3 gold, and I mean most of us have got 4 in our training funds and things, but
Yeah.
okay.
Between the 7 of us, though, so do what you got to do. Well,
Okay,
one sec.
So what are you offering then, Melody?
yeah, okay, so we'll say, well then 30 on departure, 30 on arrival.
Wow, I'm sure the captain would be happy with that. Okay, well, you've got half an hour to get your people here at the most.
Okay, well then, I'll thank him. I'll go quickly grab everyone and the.
So you're going to get the other 2 first, who are just sort of settling up, looking at all the different ships.
Yep.
Yep. So Thea, there are a couple of ships leaving. There's a couple of taking passage, people on passage, but they're all in all different places. There's one that goes past Coombe. You have to go down to the dock and ask the captain if he'd send you ashore.
Sure, we could convince him to put in at Coombe. Oh, sorry, I'm not there, so. Yeah.
Aren't you? You're at the mercenaries, the Merchants Guild.
Mhm.
That's where this is happening. This bit.
Oh, is it? Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone busted in and has verbally abused me just then, so I had to go on
Okay.
mute. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
All right, so this is at the Merchants Guild, right? Yep.
Yeah.
So we've been informed there is a boat,
Yeah.
and it's sailing past Coombe and could be. Well, I mean, yeah. I asked if he could be persuaded to put in at Coombe to drop us off.
Well, you'd have to talk to the captain, and
Alright.
you get the location of the boat on the docks.
Yep. All right.
So as you're heading off, you see Melody sliding up to you.
Yep.
So I'll mention that we've got half an hour to get everyone together. I found a ship that's willing to take us
All right.
for
Excellent.
what is essentially 60 silver.
Sounds alright. We can do that. Yep. I'll rush back to the guild to get a little bit of money out of the training fund, and I mean, I haven't got many things, so they're good to go. I assume everyone else who was present packed their
once
things.
it's in the training fund, it's in the training fund. You can't take it out.
Oh,
It's not a-
really?
It's not a bank.
Oh, that's
I have
right.
some silver. I have some silver that's not in the training fund, so
That's
Okay.
right. I've still got 2 gold on me anyway, so
Alright.
yeah, should be fine. Yep.
Yep.
I assume everyone else is sort of the same. They've kept a bit on them and etc.
Hopefully. Okay, you trot down to the docks. Behind you, you can see some people in dark sort of coloured robes, sort of moving into the taverns and inns as you sort of make your way towards the docks.
Okay, right. Well,
Oh, fucking hell.
we'll get on board. I'll hand over a small pouch with 30 silver to the first mate.
Mm-hmm.
There's the upfront payment.
Rightio.
And we'll start loading our stuff on. We'll start with Fulmic and we'll get him in, hunkered down, and hopefully sort of cloaked.
Well, he says you guys can go
we can put 'em
in the...
cart.
Sorry? Say again?
Why don't we just throw them in the cart and throw a blanket over them?
The
I don't want
first
to make it look
mate...
suspicious.
The first mate actually directs you to get into the hold, and yeah, he says make sure no one makes any stupid noises.
Aha, it's all going to him. Okay, so yeah, we stow away as best as we can.
Rightio, so you get down there. You can hear some voices. It would seem that about 5 or 10 minutes after you sort of all settled in, there's someone who's wanting to board his ship. He's making a bit of a song and dance about it, saying you can't just come onto any ship you want to.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
Well, the boat's rocking about.
He says, yeah, what you do on land is what you do on land. What we do on sea is what that's our business. So you hear some people talking to him in very stern words, threatening. He just says, sorry, I can't help you without the captain here, and the captain is probably in no fit state to answer any questions anyway. But you're welcome to come back in about, I don't know, tomorrow morning we'll be here, I said. Yeah. And he should be at least awake and in a much more finer fetid state.
Yeah, politely whispers, these people are too drunk, they're slurring their words. What are they saying?
No, it's not that they're drunk. You're just hearing snippets of the conversation as best you can.
Yeah, they're not
okay.
raised voices enough that we can actually listen.
Oh, they're outside.
What about those of us that have actually got detect noise?
Okay. What's your
How do I know if
chance?
I've got that?
You don't.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's two amongst you that do. What's your
I would-
chance?
Okay.
Oh, actually everyone does if you want to strain, but I'd have to look it up. It's very, very limited for for humans. But
Yeah.
what's your chance?
Like 18%.
No, you're not hearing much.
No.
Fear ain't hearing much. Fulmic isn't hearing much. Viac, whatever. Sorry, I can't remember his name. Will's character's name. Doesn't hear. Actually, doesn't hear anything with that 20. Pity. I'd already rolled for Nod Fung. So Lomax. Nope. The Melody I've done. Nope. So no, you're just hearing bits and pieces. You can't really make sense of it. Well, you can make sense of the first mate because he's quite clear. He's obviously having an argument about someone coming on board the ship.
He's possibly leaning on the whole door and therefore a bit closer.
Okay. Yep. I'm with you guys now. Yep. Someone's trying to approach the ship and yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry, once again, the whole person busted in. It was all good. Yeah. Seems like
Well,
we
I
got
guess
out
we
in the nick
can,
of time.
So you
ride
think,
it out and hope that it convinces them not to board.
oh,
Yeah.
it's about, I don't know, sometime later, 10-15 minutes later, you hear some singing and with some difficulty getting someone on board. Apparently the captain's arrived in a fine state,
Ha.
and the first mate then gives the orders to set to, and you can definitely feel that the ship is moving.
Beautiful.
And just probably slowly moving its way out of the dock area out into the bay, and then off up to the northeast direction. In the
Beautiful.
general state.
Yeah, as long as I can actually, figure out that at some point if I can get a view of the stars or something like that to figure out that we are going the right direction.
You have navigation.
No, I have nothing. I'm just a swashbuckler.
Okay. Well, let's say you've got a chance. So roll 46 and tell me how much you get under your intelligence by, if you get under anything.
Bang on.
Bang on. Okay. Well, you think you're heading in a direction that is going to be helpful.
Right. Okay. Well then, I suggest that as a group we, don't trust anybody on the open water, given that the sea is a sea of pirates half the time. We don't know what they're carrying, so it could be anything. Although, let's put it this way. I'm sure that based on the cover that we got from the guys above, they're in it for their money. And they probably hate the Inquisition as much as we do.
Yeah.
Or whoever it was, but let's set a watch so that we don't get tied up in the middle of the night and fucking, sold as human slave traffic.
Oh mate, forget that. Yep, I'm with you there.
I will, I think we're in the hold, right? So I might just have a wee poke around.
Having said about a watch, this hold is atrocious. I'm going to step outside and just sort of,
Well, before you step outside,
Are we allowed to step
Remember,
outside?
the captain doesn't know we're here, so I would say stay down.
Oh right, it's the first
Well,
mate's
perhaps.
dwindling all the money, isn't
who
it?
knows? You don't know what's going on.
You don't
But
know.
Yeah.
after about 15-20 minutes of movement, you find that he's in. Hello, Will.
Hello.
Right, so you're on ship. You're just leaving harbour. The first mate just looks down. He says, and he's just directing people, and then every now and then he just says, "Keep your heads down. We're still within sight of land."
Okay.
Oh, I think we made some people very angry by their gesticulations. Hang on. Hello, and he gives them a backhand wave with 2 fingers. Hello back to you, good sirs. Which you can see. It's a cloudless night. There's a moon, one of the 2 moons that are up. Yeah, it's all easy to see. So, as you're talking, he says, "So I'll introduce you to the captain in the morning when he's slept off his celebrating. I'll tell him the terms. I'm sure he's quite happy. He'll be happy with them. At least it'll keep him in good ale for a while. But while you're on board, you might be called upon to do a little job here and there to help. Otherwise, try to keep out of the way of the men. They know what they're doing."
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
I'm going to start sharpening my axes.
Right. Sounds good. So it's a good hour before he sort of tells you it's okay to come up on deck. And he introduces you to a few of the other deckhands. Make sure that they pass the word around that you are sailing on board passage to Coombe. And at the sign of any problems, he says it might be best if you leave the donkey down there. and you might need to go down there again should there be any happenings at sea, or you might need to be on deck if there's any other sort of happenings at sea.
Fair enough.
He says, I hope you brought a lot of food and water. We've only got some basics on board, so...
Whoops.
No? Okay, he says. Yeah, we'll just get the cook to water it all down. So, you guys sort of settle in for the night. They've got a canvas that goes over the deck hold hole. So you're sort of semi-protected from the elements. You will find a place where it's generally comfortable enough to those of you who want to go to sleep, and those of you who want to stay awake, stay awake. The ship itself is a two-posted ship, so I was just trying to look for the speed at which she goes. So there's a moderate breeze. Wrong. That was good. Nope. There's a moderate breeze going, so the ship will move fairly happily. Anything else you want to know?
No, not particularly. As long as I'm, sort of fairly certain that we're keeping the land on our right hand side. That means that we're going the right way.
Who's taking over from your watch?
I'll take first watch.
Okay.
Or second watch, whatever. If someone's
Okay. Well, if you're on first watch, then probably we'll say Melody's told you. Make sure that on this side, that's where the land needs to stay.
Hey Steve, is your mic worse than usual today?
No, everyone's been saying
it's
it.
really muffled.
I don't know.
It's muffled as
Can't help it. Sorry, it's the only one I got at the moment.
yeah. No worries.
You got a sock over it.
We got more. Is that better?
Have you tried an unplug replug situation?
It's a wireless thing, so no.
I see. Alright, yeah, no.
And it's been sitting on charge while I've been away, so it is charged up. Just I don't know why, but it's just how it is tonight. What was I saying? Sorry, yeah. So you're moving at a fairly good clip, not super fast, but quite fast. And so Lomax, your shift roughly, it's pretty good because they keep a good watch on the hours on ship, so you get a measure of 3 hours or 4 hours depending on what length your watch is going to be. What's it going to be, Lomax?
4
hours, okay. So you can see that land sort of, they stay within sight of land, but they're moving along the coastline. As it's time to, I've got to remember the map because I don't have the map with me. I do, but it's on a big sheet of a bloody big page, which I've got to try to shrink down to get to fiddle with it digitally. The island's not there yet, no. So it's just all water around you, and you would say half a mile to a mile away would be the coastline. So if anything happens, it's going to be a damn fine swim. The evening's quite clear, it's quite cool, crisp air. It's so just so you know, the lake, the Sea of Silat, it's actually a freshwater sea. It's not a saltwater lake, sea. It's actually a huge lake, but it's called the Sea of Silat. So now for the big roll. Any encounters at sea? Damn. Double damn. Triple damn. Okay, who's after you? Who's after
Vaki
Lomax?
doesn't mind.
Vaki. Okay, Vaki. So you're told the same thing. You know, this side of the ship, keep land on that. If it changes, we're heading in the wrong direction, sort of thing. As I
Keep
said,
side of land.
one of the you're
Land
about
on the right of the ship.
between a half a mile to a mile of land, so you can see it all the time. It's a clear sky, very very little cloud. Moon's up. Probably it would be waxing. It's about half a moon. And yeah, you can tell that the ship is going pretty well. Well, as far as you can tell, it seems to be moving quite well. There is a moderate breeze. The men seem to be all doing their stuff. It's pretty quiet, but they seem to know how to travel at night under the cover of night, which would suggest some things about their activities.
A ship of dubious nature.
Possibly.
It's not them.
Low bottom, meaning that can get close to land without, yeah, being recognized.
Millennium Falcon.
Well, there you go. Yeah. This is the ship's called the Century Hawk. There you go. The Century Hawk. It's got its official name.
It's not the black squid, no.
No, the Century Hawk.
Lol.
There you go. Okay. Sorry. Who's after Vaki?
Me.
Okay, so Melody, everything is ship shape when you get up. After about 4 hours.
I'm also going to be paying attention to anything that may be following us.
As far as your eyes can tell, there is nothing following you. God damn it. And not much is happening. You're just smoothing, gliding quickly over the water. The sun starts to come up, breaks in the east, and soon you're all golden on the water and comes into daylight and it's blue and around you starts to rousing a bit. Change of shift on board the ship. You all guys seem to rouse. Soon you can smell something's cooking. And the first mate sort of peeks his head under the canvas and he says, well, you sort of, you know, and they rolled the canvas back a little bit and said, well, you better come up for your first meal. And so you sort of set up on the deck around the place where all the men doing their businesses, rope and sails and all that bits and pieces. And you're given some sort of fishy, gruely thing. Doesn't look that pleasant, but it tastes pretty good, and it definitely is filling. Wash it down, and you're, as the first mate said, as long as you don't get in the way of anyone, you can stay up on deck, but otherwise you can stay down underneath the tarpaulin. It's up to you. It's a lot cooler above the tarpaulin. That's what I'm going to say.
I'll happily be, you know, helping out on deck.
Doing what?
Oh, whether it means moving the sails or anything like that.
Okay, well the men will do that, but I mean, once you show them that you can actually, you know, tie rope and bind rope and all that sort of stuff, they sort of give you some slightly more menial jobs.
Yep.
But at least, yeah. Sorry, I won't say that yet. What are the rest of you doing? Fia. Matt. Okay, what's Lomax doing?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna look for something to do on whether is there anyone like mopping the deck or doing something menial like that I can just like latch on.
The most thing they do is sort of, yeah, they sort of, the deck is pretty clean. They're just checking the rigging, retying things, knotting things down. They've got someone halfway up the mast as a lookout. Not a hell of a lot else happening. There's a guy on the wheel. You haven't seen the captain yet, but then there is that sort of small rise in the back of the boat, which would suggest that that's where the captain is sleeping off his celebration from last night.
I'm going to ask if I can go up the mast and have a look.
I say, well, if you get tangled in the rope and you get, cut, that's your issue, not ours.
That's fine, I sharpen my axes.
I say, do anything to damage the rigging or the mast, you'll answer to, first of all, the first mate and then the captain.
Okay. Give it a. Let's go up. Let's have a look. See what the crow's nest can see.
Uh-huh. So you don't have climbing, do you?
Not specifically that I'm aware of.
Okay. So we're just gonna say this is a basic 46 check, and you gotta get your dex or less. But there'll be a few.
I'm gonna get my what?
Dex.
I'm gonna get my
less.
dex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dex. So, or dexterity or less.
Okay. So 4d6.
Mm-hmm. So you want little numbers?
No modifiers. Okay.
I've got some in my head.
All right. Okay.
And just tell me how far under you get.
So 3 under.
Okay. Rightio. So you don't have that much trouble actually getting up the mast. You sort of got to share the crow's nest, as it were, is more a platform, and there's a loop of rope that you sort of put yourself in. Somebody's already in it. So he says if you've got some rope, tie yourself on. At least if you fall, you won't hit the deck. You might strangle, but
Okay.
you won't hit the deck. But anyway, you can see he's got it all down really cleverly. So it moves with his body, so he's not creating any rope burn or anything. But it sort of keeps him steady, and he gives you a little bit of room to put your feet on the platform. It's not big. You're talking about perhaps a platform 3x3 at the most. We've got both of you on it. And what can you see? Well, water, lots and lots of water. You can see the land off to the starboard, the right side of the boat. And you can sort of see the sun as it's climbing into the sky. It's sort of in the direction of roughly where you're wanting to head, as in like it's ahead of you. It's not to the left or the right or behind you or anything, because that would put it in the wrong direction.
Yep.
And the other thing would be that
Or I am the genius.
you can sort of see and you sort of the lookout sort of yells out something. You can't quite make it what there's some sort of jargon they're talking, and the ship starts to veer off. You can see some sort of disturbance on the water. It's like a sparkly disturbance. You're not sure what it is.
I'll ask him. What is that, man? What are we doing?
It's fish. We're gonna catch some fish.
Oh, sounds great. Do you know I can see my house from here?
Can you? Is it underwater?
On the lane. This is so high.
Yeah. Okay. What is Vaki doing?
Sorry, what time of day are we at right now?
Early morning.
Early morning. I guess just stretching my legs, wandering around with nothing to do.
It's like you're up near the bow. Well, not at the bow, but like at least halfway to the bow, sort of thing. When a door opens up and a slightly disheveled looking female in petticoat, the long trousery petticoat with a tight corsety bodice sort of thing on top, sort of comes out, and she looks at you and sort of raises her left eyebrow, and how you sort of do that look. She's
Salutations, friend.
Wait, when did we take you on?
Don't know you. How did you get on board this ship?
You look like you need a cabin boy.
I stepped onto it, I guess.
We've got cabin fever.
Okay, all the
I was
bad
kind
jokes
of in
now?
I was in a dream when I hopped on this ship, so I just kind of woke up here, I guess.
Uh-huh. Well, she sort of saddles up to you, and then you suddenly realise you've got a dagger pointing in your sort of left side. Let's be careful, shall we, friend?
Always careful. I raise my hands apologetically.
Uh-huh. Right, and then she calls out, Blake, what's this person doing on... Oh, you're awake, Captain. We took on some passages. If you notice on your nightstand, there's half the money now and half when we deliver them to Coombe. And she sort of gives him a look, and he says 60 silver. She says, oh, well, my apologies. And she puts her dagger back, and she dusts off the pinprick in your side sort of thing. She says, you're a young, fine-looking man, aren't you? She suddenly says, looking at you with slightly different eyes.
I bow deeply, and
right, so she sort of rejukes herself and like pulls her corset a bit tighter, and of course her bosom sort of is almost ready to burst the whole thing open. And she says, right, well, I'd better get more presentable, I think.
yeah.
So with that, she turns around, closes the door.
Well, I'll continue meandering about to my heart's content.
Can you give me a 4d6, please? And tell me whether you get over or under your dexterity. And by how much?
I got 1 second. Under my dexterity by 2.
Okay. So as you're sort of going around, you can't really get right to the back of the ship because of the captain's cabin, but you sort of move around to the like ultimate part you can. The ship does a small swing. There's a shout from the mast, and the ship sort of swings a little bit, and that sort of pushes you over a bit. You sort of hanging over the side of the ship a little bit before you can sort of right yourself. The ship definitely looks like it's heading in a slightly different direction. It's gone about 20 degrees more northerly, so whereas before you were sort of heading in a more of a northeasterly direction, you're now heading in a more of a northeasterly direction, roughly speaking, because of the sun. You know where it is.
I'll try to quickly compose myself and probably meander a little bit closer to the center of the ship.
Righto, Lomax. Oh, sorry, what's Melody doing?
So like I say, Melody's just basically going to be keeping an ear out. Once I hear the call from whatever it is, I'll see exactly where we're swinging towards.
You can see a part of the sea that's just a little bit more shimmery from where you're looking from.
Right. Okay.
Several people start moving and they're pulling off nets.
Probably grabbing nets. Yep. So start getting, heading over there, getting the nets ready to heave.
As you get closer, Lomax, you got the best sight. You got the best position, I should say, to see from. So what you can see with the shimmeringness is where the fish are jumping out of the water, and they sort of glide a little bit. They're sort of like flying fish. So the school, just looking at the size of it, it's quite large. It would be the school would roughly fit on half of a football field. So it's just this constant ripple on the surface of the sea, with these fish jumping. So as you get closer, of course, they start to veer away a little bit. The ship sort of can catch up a little bit, and finally a couple of the nets are cast out, thrown out by several people on the starboard side, and hauled up, and pretty soon there's quite a decent pile of fish thrashing about on the deck. and people start going around with belaying pins and whacking them on the head.
I was about to say, smacking them on the scone.
Yep, and then chucking them into a barrel. So one of the men looks up and says, "You lot, get over here and help."
Oh, Vaki will hop too.
Okay, so it's a messy job, but it's necessary. Otherwise, the whole deck would be filled with slimy fish. So yeah, so after a good half an hour's work, you fill up around about 7 barrels, and then call for buckets and scrubbing off the grime of the fish and that sort of stuff off the deck. You sort of scoot out of the way of the deckhands. They seem to know best what they're doing. The ship starts to swing back around onto its course. And one guy calls to Vaki, "Can you help me lift this up? I need to take it to the cook."
Couldn't quite understand him, but I'll nod in agreement and try to gather from context what I need to do.
Okay, rightio. So you help him lift the drum or the cask of barrel of fish and take it to the cook.
Excellent.
Right, so you get in there. The cook's a very thin man with a pencil, like a very miserly pencil thin moustache, going balding. He's actually quite clean and tidy. The galley looks extremely clean and all very, very organised.
Does he have all of his limbs?
Yes, he does.
Excellent. Never
Yep.
trusted cook on a ye oldie ship without all his limbs. You've read Treasure Island, right?
Right, yeah. So he sort of thanks you and directs you where to put it. And yeah, then he sort of shoos you out of the galley.
I'll probably, if it was really messy work, I might go clean off my armor if I'm slimy.
Not really. It's probably just more sweaty work than anything else.
Well, that's alright then. I might just go find somewhere nice to sit and watch the bloody waves roll by.
Rightio. So the day continues to be. Sorry, just gonna make the roll. Where are we? Okay, Matt. Oh, it continues. Great. 1D. Okay, the wind starts to die down a little bit. The ship, although still moving relatively fine, is slowing down a bit. What do you mean? Where did everyone go?
Is that in-game or out-of-game? Because
I'm not
we
sure.
are missing a few.
Hey, I'm here. Although Fear's just been blending in, staying away from the fish slime.
Right. Yeah, so hopefully Lomax is asking his Lomax, not his Ron.
Hello, Lomax.
Okay, someone's okay. Ask him. Sorry. Just gonna wait for his answer, whether it was in game or out. 'Cause he's not talking, so I wonder if he's lost the audio.
The hangout. No, the hangout's up.
And you're in it.
Looks like
He's in it.
Yeah, he's in it too.
No, he's just left.
Yeah.
He's just
He
jumped.
just dropped out. Yeah, just dropped out.
Wonder how much silence he endured before he asked that.
Yeah. Oh well. Yep. Copy. Down here. Paste. Send. Right. Okay. Hopefully he'll get back on. So the day again is another sort of very light clouded day. The wind is mild. Good news, bad news.
For the
No.
record,
Yes.
Thea is hating every moment on board.
Okay, and can I get her spells for the day?
Yeah, hang on. Oh, let me think. Help me avoid this.
Yay! Finally!
An encounter. Got a.
At sea.
Oh.
At sea, they're always so much fun at sea. Let's just have a look.
Shark!
I missed it all.
Oh wait,
No, there's just
Megalodon.
no, it can't be. We're in freshwater.
yeah, it's a freshwater megalodon.
Yeah, freshwater belay. Well, thankfully that won't be a problem out here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay.
He's a 1.
Yeah, just deciding on the type of encounter. Ooh, it's
Oh,
a
man.
very rare.
Massive red dragon. Oh, fuck off. I do not want to be the next chicken. I do not want to be the next chicken McNuggets.
12, 13, 14,
Hide.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28,
Hide in the lower deck.
31, 32, 33,
Ah,
34,
fuck, he's getting
35,
excited.
36, 37, 38. There's 38 different things that could kill you.
Yes.
Mate, Thea's horrified. She's already horrified at being on the boat.
Yep. Number 20. Let's see what that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Christ.
7, 8, 9. Well, it's not a dragon. 10,
No.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I guess it's possible. It's weird,
What?
but possible. Hang on. Okay, so you're not there. Well, the good news is it's not from the Fiend Folio.
It's not what?
Not from the Fiend Folio. Have you? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Like there's 3 monster books in first edition. There's Monster Manual 1, Monster Manual 2, and the Fiend Folio.
Oh,
And
the Fiend Folio.
Yeah, the Fiend Folio
Ah.
is one of the nasty ones.
Oh, mate. Oh, the Fiend Folio. Sounds bad.
Yeah, that can go
Okay, yeah.
friggin' burn in the fire.
There's only 2 good or neutral creatures in the entire Fiend Folio. That's the
Anything
whole
with
book.
fire is going to be horrific.
Yeah, it is. Cool, eh?
Let's just... Oh, mate.
Oh no. I've lost something.
Here we go.
Your marbles?
So you're about to witness first edition full on.
Exciting.
7 of them.
They have not witnessed first edition full on, because walking outside of the town only to encounter a red dragon, only for your dwarf to then proceed to taunt it.
That's fun.
So
Okay.
if Folmic was here, we'd experience it full on pretty much.
Oh
Well,
well.
let's put it this way: the name of the character that decided to taunt it was very aptly named
Chicken McNuggets.
Chicken McNuggets.
What?
He's a dwarf.
Mate, that name, I feel like he deserved everything he got.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, he was a good player.
Mind you, there was also what was the name of the gnomish barbarian? Knee hacker.
Knee hacker from the knee hacker thing.
Yeah, knee
Yeah.
hacker of the Chaka Khan tribe.
Oh, the
or
Chaka
something
Khan
like that.
tribe. Yeah, that's a great book game though. Knee hacker, but knee hacker and knee hacker was the berserker gnome, and I can't remember if there was an insane dwarf. I think there was an insane dwarf that jumped down holes after Umber Hogs with him.
What was the one that I can't remember? It was Rob, wasn't it? That had
Shem.
Oh, mate.
Back 1 sec.
no, the one that had the I have a key.
That could have been Shem.
Yeah.
It was also the guy who you gave. It was the only guy you never wanted a poison save from because he'd always fail. Every
While
single
Matt's
time.
gone, I had a
Yes.
quick question.
Yes.
What accent do these people have in this town we're in? Because I'm thinking about actually adding more of a voice to the character, but
Okay.
It'd be a very
well,
poor
you
attempt.
can think Middle Eastern. Say the whole Cam thing is based on Babylonian, Mesopotamian, Sumatran, Sumerian, Middle East would sort of be Arabian, Egyptian.
So like the characters from Aladdin. All right.
Sort of. A very, very Europeanized version of it. Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, mate, that's the closest I'm gonna get.
That's
Guarantee it.
okay. Yeah.
But and not today. I need some practice.
It's all fine. So, I better find out how.
Salam,
oh,
Effendi.
Salam alaikum.
What are we finding? What's turned up? What's turned up?
What are we seeing?
I'm just seeing. Okay, 180 yards away is when you first take sight. Someone takes sight, probably the guy on the watch, or Lomax. Lomax, it'll be you.
Oh. Yes.
So you see roughly flying about half a dozen things that when you actually see them at 180 yards away, you recognise that they are probably hippogriffs.
Oh,
Hippogriffs.
Hippogriffs? Is that what we got coming? Hippogriffs?
how many?
Hippogriffs, around about half a dozen.
Jesus.
You can ride these things, right?
If you could raise one from an egg, yes.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's follow them back to their nests. We'll be
Let's catch a mating couple.
Yes, unfortunately these ones are out for hunting.
I'm gonna nudge the dude next to me on the platform and just make sure he's seen it, and then I guess I'm gonna yell.
He yells out a whale or something, which gets every deckhand's attention anyway.
Yeah.
Several people are moving. They're pulling up some. They're not really ballista, but they are much bigger than a large crossbow. So they've got 3 of these devices, and another guy's bringing out some tar. Another guy's getting a torch ready. And I'm about to see what these creatures' reaction to you are.
Cool. I'm feeling like I don't really want to be up here right now.
Yeah, well, it's going to be hard because we're in combat. Yeah.
I will start making my descent.
Uh-huh.
And as Vaki sees people loading up ballistas, I'm going to be readying my crossbow and loading it.
Okay. So these things seem to wheel about around, and they don't get that much closer. You're not sure what they're doing.
Can I shoot at one?
Dear God!
It's a chicken McNuggets all over again, isn't it? It's entirely up to you if you want to shoot at one.
Legitimate question. You said 180,
McNuggets all over again.
180 yards, yeah?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
You can make that shot.
I can make that shot.
Do you think you would kill a hippogriff with one shot?
Yeah, I was about to say, you don't want to make that shot, but you could.
I don't know. I haven't tried before, so... All glory to the crossbow.
Look at that pretty blue bird! Egg!
Alright, I'm going to start aiming at one anyway. I
The
want quite
yeah.
loose a crossbow, but I'm going to be aiming at what appears to be the closest.
Oh shit.
Okay.
I just want to get off the mast.
Okay, give me a roll, dexterity roll, 46 roll, please. Lomax.
That's exactly my depth.
Okay. You beat a hasty retreat down. By this time everyone's set up and ready. You can also see your friend Vaki, sorry, Vaki ready with his own crossbow pointing.
I'll draw my bow.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't fooling anyone. I'm hiding behind one of the I'm back against one of the masts and trying to friggin' like just keep an eye on them from around the back.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get down to the hold to protect Bruce.
Of course. So Lomax gets into the hole, holding on to his bow and arrow.
Oh yeah, we've got donkey bait, don't we?
Push it
Bruce.
overboard,
Mate,
mate.
So it's
mate. I mean, Bruce. You're right.
it's a bit of a standoff. No one seems to be doing anything at the moment. The hippogriffs seem to be just flying out there around, not even circling the boat. They're just freewheeling, and they're staying about 180 yards, as I said, away from you.
I'm gonna ask whoever's closest to me if I should fire a warning shot.
Okay.
Whoever's closest to me needs to respond because I'm just gonna follow that.
If he was next to you, he would beat you savagely. But yeah, alright.
Okay.
Totally not.
So we'll do it this way. I'll roll a d6. A d6. If I get a 6, it's Fulmic. If I get a 1, it's the second mate. If it's anything else, it'll be a deckhand.
What does the deckhand say?
What was your question?
Should I fire a warning shot?
He looks at you and says, "Do you think you should fire a warning shot?
What did he say?
Do you think you should fire a warning shot?"
I'll say this is my first hippogriff friend. Or my first flying bird creature, more accurately, I would say.
First flying.
Well, my old daddy used to say one thing. It's a long way from here to the shore. Just remember that. How strong a swimmer are you?
Overhear this conversation. You know, I'd say, hey, Vaki, would you poke a bear with a stick?
His answer to that would be yes.
Yeah, otherwise it depends how big and sharp the stick was, I guess.
Okay. The stick is as big as your crossbow bolt.
Done, mate, done. Alright, I'll hold off, but my trigger finger's getting twitchy, mate. Twitchy.
So they sort of hang around for a good 5-10 minutes, and then they just move
Back
away.
off.
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh god. Catastrophe averted.
Okay, so with that, the team the large crossbow is left on its mount that was closest to where they were, and the others sort of pack them down, and they get back on with their business.
You can just see it. Vaki's like wanting to like go up and manhandle the crossbow, like ooh.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
Take it with me.
Can I get a
Well,
back
it
stab?
has to be mounted. It has a ball on the underneath of it that fits into a socket, and that's how they.
Alright. How do you detention a crossbow, by the way? Do you just empty fire it or whatever?
not supposed
You
to empty fire, are you?
can, but
Yeah, so
what you would do is you'd hold the tent, you'd mount like you've got a bar at the bottom that you put your feet against, and then you pull back. So in this case, you'd put your bar across your feet on that. You'd hold the string, and then you'd release, and then let it down slowly.
Yeah.
Because you
alright.
blank fire it like that, you tend to weaken the strength in it.
Yeah, okay, I'll do the cautious, safe for the crossbow and me way.
Rightio. Lomax, what are you doing with your arrow that you still got there ready?
well, seeing as how I've obviously scared the hippogriff off, I'll resheath, requiver
Requiver.
my arrow.
Requiver your arrow. Okay. You must be feeling highly elated to have scared off like roughly half a dozen
Oh, I
hippogriffs.
scared a dragon off earlier. I don't know if everyone knew that, but that was me that scared them off.
Oh, right. Okay. Great stuff. So the rest of the day it's hot, but as I said, the ship's moving at pretty good speed, not as fast as it was the night before. The captain makes an appearance, and so what I need to know now is I need just the men, your heights and your weights. She's not probably going to do much with oh, hang on, there he is.
Alright, Vaki is 6 foot and 185 pounds.
Yep.
Lomax the swordsman is 6'5" and 200 pound.
Ah,
Right.
Jesus.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
evening.
Good evening.
It's Sid.
It's Sid.
Ah. Hi,
Oh,
sir.
yeah, I only just got the email now.
Okay. I sent one out at the beginning of the game just to make sure, just in case you didn't get the first one. I sent that last week. That's all cool. So at the present, you're on a ship speeding towards Coombe. The group has just managed to not engage a flight of hippogriff.
Sadly.
You really do have a death wish, huh?
Mate, they're just birds.
Right. Right. Birds the
birds.
sizes of horses.
It's a griffin with a horse's ass.
Mate,
Pretty much.
Their shit from that height alone could do damage to you, mate.
mate. So you say.
Right. So the captain comes out, and also Lomax, what's your charisma, and what's yours, Vaki?
My charisma is 11.
And Vaki?
Charisma,
Yes.
9.
Right, Lomax. She sort of passes by Vaki, and she sort of says up to Lomax. Well, didn't saddle up to him. And so she looks at you, put her hand on the hip, and she says, "So, I take it you're the leader of this group."
Well, how astute of you.
So tell me, and she puts her hand, her arm around one of your arms, and she leads you along to the prow of the ship, and she says, "So tell me, what was so important that you had to leave Kiristar so quickly?"
Good question.
"I'm hoping there's a good answer," she says.
We were bored, and we seek adventure and fortune elsewhere.
So you're the thrill of adventure, huh? Nothing else.
Pretty much.
So we
Yeah,
could turn around now and head back to port, and there wouldn't be any problems.
And you would be 60 silver pieces lighter.
True. And as to the price of 60 silver pieces for 7 individuals and 1 donkey, that's quite an extremely fair fare.
Your first mate bartered well.
Yes. Well then, I appreciate you not wanting to give away your group secrets. Perhaps I can have a name for your band.
Crimson Hounds.
The Crimson Hounds, have you heard of us? You must have heard of us.
I have heard of the Crimson Hawks and the Bloodhounds, but never the Crimson Hounds. So where do you operate, mostly?
They're imposters.
hmm So where do you operate?
Oh, you know, here, there,
And a bit of
the wind
everywhere, I
takes
guess,
us.
she says.
Wherever
Right.
the wind takes us.
She says, so, tell me, if you're such a good group, tell me something I might have heard about you doing.
Scaring off a dragon at last town, mate.
You may have heard or seen the dragon a couple of nights ago. Yeah, we scared that off.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, from where I was, it didn't look like anyone scared it off. It looked like it had finished its business and then buggered off home.
You clearly didn't have a good vantage point then.
You were obviously in the wrong place.
She was on a
Because
ship.
from where I was standing, that dragon was pretty scared of us.
Right. So you're dragon chasers, huh? So you're going to chase the dragon down.
Well, no, not in this particular case. But if we were to happen across it and had opportunity to find its hoard, then we would probably take that.
Oh, Jesus.
Ah, right, okay. Well, she says, Perhaps I can help you move this hoard that you're going to perhaps find at very
Well,
competitive
to
rates.
beyond when we find it, we could potentially find it.
Mm.
But let's not talk details right now.
No, let's not talk details. Perhaps you'd like to come to my cabin for a wee drop.
I knew you were the adventurous type.
She says, we'll see how adventurous you are, my friend.
Can I invite a friend?
He says, perhaps later.
All talk. Vaki says it out loud while laughing.
Oh, good.
From the rear of the boat, pussy!
I may need some moral support.
Oh,
She says,
so you
oh.
needed someone
She
with a
says,
bit of constitution.
She says, sorry, I didn't realise you were that way.
No, I'm not that way. I'm not that way. I'll see you in your cabin.
Right,
Come
then let's go then,
Lomax
she
knows
says.
his way around the sword. That's why he's Lomax's
Yeah.
sword. So.
It's been shamed into it, mate.
So you enter her cabin, it's very nice, it's all very seaman-like, not very feminine,
Oh,
except for the
see
bed.
light.
And Lomax is excited now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's the bed is let's
I
say
approached
it's
behind. Who's been taken in? Lomax. Eh?
Lomax and the door's closed before anyone else can get in.
I'm gonna saddle up beside Vaki and be like, 5 coppers says that she outlasts him.
Mate, I'll take that action.
That's
It all comes
lovely.
down to the die roll.
Does
We
it?
are talking about them getting drunk, right?
Yeah.
Well, Lomax being poisoned, one of the two.
Uh-huh. Okay, there's a whisper for you, Lomax.
Yeah.
There's a what?
A whisper for you. There's something in yellow that only you can see. In the chat.
Yes. Done.
Okay. Right.
Done.
Right.
Do I have to roll for that?
Nah.
Let's just
D100?
no. You don't want to tempt fate and lose on that one.
No.
But anyway,
Wouldn't want to
yeah.
roll a 1.
No. Well, perhaps it depends on what you want. The rest of you, what are you doing?
Fia's finally stumbling up from where she's been cowering the whole time, opening the door, and can she see Vaki or Melody?
Yep, they seem to be towards the back of towards the bow of the starboard of the ship. No, God,
Yeah.
the stern of the ship.
I assume no one's taken her any food this whole time.
No, well, apart
Yeah.
from breakfast.
Or she's gonna scowl at them and ask where the food is.
Well, one of the deckhands
Not
said,
even lunchtime.
Have you done some
Oh,
work
so-
yet, lassie?
I was gonna say,
Someone took her breakfast. If they took her breakfast, she's not that angry. She's still pretty damn angry. I mean,
Yeah.
those who
she's
don't
gonna
work
slump
don't eat.
down next to him and look dishevelled as all hell.
Uh-huh.
Say it. I hate boats.
Yeah.
Do you now, he says, this old softy. He says, well, let me tell you a story. When I was 5, and he's a bit of a rambler.
I was about to say, as long as he doesn't bust out the piano accordion or the hurdy-gurdy to go with it. And life is a bit... Yeah, no, I'm just going to quickly take note that since one of our members has been dragged off, you know, these guys are armed with what exactly in the event that this starts turning pear-shaped on us?
Well, I'm just pointing my crossbow at the first mate. What are we talking about?
Put it at me. Put me out of my misery, mate.
Okay.
But beyond that,
I was-
I'm just gonna keep
dread.
working away, but keep an eye out on any massive congregations of them sort of looking like they're about to start ganging up.
No, they're all doing about their business.
Cool, cool.
It all seems to be very ship-shape. Um,
Cool.
the ship continues forward on its planned, well, on its trajectory, and the shore is going by. There doesn't seem to be any other encounters. You're sort of moving into the early hours of the evening now. There's some food being handed around. It's a fresh fish stew. Very, very tasty.
Ooh.
And there's a
It's
measure.
a ceviche.
There's a measure of rum to go after, chase it down with. And some of the men get a little bit more. So there's some that are going about the business, and some of them are just a little bit more sort of taking things easier. Some of them started up singing and, you know, all that sort of stuff. Whether you join in with them or not, it's up to you, but they sort of are separate to you.
Well, so I'll probably gamble away the measure of rum, if anything, and purposefully lose.
Okay.
No, mate, Vaki will take you up on that action.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so
Fear.
we're going to roll dice. We're going to have a game of pyramids.
Fear wonders what the hell's going on in the cabin since everyone's sitting out front of the door.
Well,
Mate,
as I said,
maybe when you're old enough to explain it.
If those boats are rocking, don't go a knocking.
She snickers and sort of leans in a bit closely, see if she can hear what's going on.
right. Okay, so
Nope, nothing happening there.
no, Vaki, we're going to have a game of pyramids. So,
Okay.
so what you do is you roll 3. We start off with placing your bet, and you can't bet the whole thing in the first round. So what are you betting? How much of your measure of rum are you betting?
A half portion, I guess.
Half of it. Okay, you roll 3d4. And then from the results there, basically what you got to do is continue to roll less than your previous rolls. So out of your group of 3d4, if one of them's a 4, then when you roll the next 2, not this lot, but in the next level of the game, you roll 2d4, and they've got to be 3 or less. And if you get a 3 out of those or 4 out of those, you're lucky. Then you get to bet 4, rolling 1d4 to try to, you know. So it's just
Alright,
you're
so
trying to keep unders.
I roll 3d4 first, yeah?
Yep.
And now, that's good, yes?
Yep. Oh, that's great. They only do 1 roll on mine, so hang on a second. 1, 2.
This guy may as well bail out now.
Yeah, this guy is not very happy. He sort of looks a bit pissed off, and he measures out half of his measure of rum into your cup.
I'm down it in
Yeah,
one
he's-
swig.
I said, since you feel lucky, my friend, how about we use some coin instead?
Oh, mate, it's my day to shine. Yes, please, sir.
Rightio. So he puts down a silver piece. You've got to match it, or you can, when it's your turn, you can match it, or you can match it and up it. It's up to you, but it's based on what you roll. So
Alright, so he goes first this time?
he's put in. So basically, be in the first round. Who is going to be in's got to put in a silver piece.
Alright.
Anyone else?
I'll put in a silver. Anyone else in?
Fear groans.
I might be in.
Well, that makes you busy.
Yeah, this one. Okay, so
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Once I've officially eaten and/or, like I say, lost purposefully my rum ration to someone else, like I'll make it look like it's a good game, but I'll purposefully blow it.
Mhm.
I'll go for a walkout on the deck, you know, up at the bow area or something like that, and just keep an eye out.
Okay. Okay then. So away you go, Marky. Roll your 3d4. Okay, so 3 is your highest. So this guy, he rolls a 4, he doesn't really have to roll any others. So he's got the best shot, so he will put in another silver,
Oh, I'll follow in.
and you can up it if you want to, but
Now I'll match it.
okay. Radio. So you get to roll you roll 2d4, and you've got to get 2s or 1s.
7.
Bam!
It's good, but so he's got to get basically 3s or less on 2d4, and he blows it. He gives you a real sour eye, and he sort of pushes the money your way. So you've got another
You don't challenge Vaki to a game of luck, friend.
2 silvers. He says, "Will you give me one last try to win my money back?"
Oh, you know what? No. Just to be spiteful. Good day, sir.
He says, "Well, that's fine."
Oh, I feel bad. I'll come back, but I want to choose the stakes.
What are the stakes? He says.
5 silver pieces.
Done.
Done?
Mate, the stakes are you bust in and interrupt Lomax. And just moan
No.
Lomax.
Okay, make your roll. This will be your last one. So you start with 5 silver pieces. He meets it. Great roll. 4, 2, 2. You only need to roll 1, 4, and you're okay. So on his first roll, he rolls a 4 as well.
Ooh.
So you put in the bet for the next one.
Another 5.
Since I like your style, he puts in 5 as well. And since this is almost our last bet, I'll add 2 more to the pot. So to be in, you've got to keep up with me.
Alright,
Yeah,
so that'll be 12 in total for me, yeah? And I've
Yep.
won 2, so if I lose this, I'll be down 10 silver, yeah?
You're getting hustled.
Oh, mate. That's alright, that's alright.
Okay,
God's
so
giveth, God's taketh away.
rightio, so you get to roll 2 dice, and they've got to be 3s or 2s or 1s.
Ah!
Oh, but hang on, he's got to make his roll. And will you look at that? He rolls 3, 3, and 3. Oh, 3 and 3, because there's only 2 rolls. And he scoops up all the money and says, "Well, that's terribly sad, son. Terribly
Thanks,
sad.
sir. Good game. Good fun.
I'll give you one chance to win some money back if you like."
Oh! Vaki's clearly got a gambling problem. He's in.
Okay, so he starts off with 3 silver.
Alright, I'll go in for 3.
Okay, you can up it at any time.
Oh, well then I'll up that to 6 instantly.
He'll match it, so that's your 6 on it. So make your roll. You just roll. Got a good chance of. Okay, you got 2 more to roll.
Ah!
Oh, let's see. So he gives you a bit of shoots you a bit of a look, and the next one is a 4, strangely enough. And because he's leading, he'll say, "Okay, I'll just put 1 coin in this time."
Alright, I'll match him. What a
Yeah.
good spirited fellow.
Yeah. Okay. And you get to roll.
2?
Yep. You got to get 1s.
I'm out.
Yep. And he gets a 1 and a 1. Oh no, he doesn't. He gets a 2 and a 1.
Ah, good game, sir. I'll hand him over his 17 pieces.
Right, yes. Well, thank you very much. I think that's enough fun for me tonight, young man. Perhaps we can play again tomorrow if you're still on board.
Mate, Vaki's clearly always in. You've unlocked the gambling demon.
Okay, so
Respect those dice, mate.
Yeah.
it's about now, Lomax. You'll sort of the door will open. You'll be able to depart.
I might just poke my head out and then close the door again.
Ah! Left for air.
No, once you've been farewelled, you're out of the cabin.
She kicked him out.
Alright, well I will
Tap
walk
it
out, and because Lomax is prone to tall stories and gestures, I will mop my brow, wipe my lips, and adjust my pants.
Okay.
Clearly, in victory, where's my 5 copper, friend?
I call bullshit.
I'm going to clearly pester Lomax for details, so...
Fair snickering.
Victory or defeat, Lomax? Which was it?
Well, victory, of course.
Come on, pay up. Pony up, yo.
I don't know, I haven't seen the captain yet. She looks like she's fine.
You're going to go ask her,
Oh,
are you? No,
she
the
may
proof is on you, mate. Pay up.
She may be a while. She may be a little while.
Okay, so you start going in the evening. Are you going to do your watches again?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm feeling quite tired. Maybe I'll take the last watch.
Right. Okay. Oh, god damn it, man. You guys get... These rolls are all in your favour. Little number! No. Okay, right. Through the night, nothing happens apart from you moving. It's another starry night. Moon's up. It's a bit more cloudy. Those of you on watch can see that on the starboard side, that is where the land is. So you're still in the general direction of where you want to go. You would have seen a bit of change in terrain around about early evening, where the sort of tree mountain line sort of starts to give way a little bit to sort of lower hills, and sort of it starts to get a bit more just bush and that sort of thing. As I said, the night goes through, and on the morning of the third day, I've got to make one roll. Forget the right number. 111. Oh yeah. Now we've done this before, haven't we? It's 1d38.
Where are these cantrips at?
Woo. 4. Yeah, 4. 4's good.
Come on, hippogriffs. Round 2.
Yeah.
Cowardly birds.
Right. Okay. Where the hell are you?
25.
Where are my counter tables? Here we go. There. Oh. That's what I've got to do. Sorry. Roll 1d100. 14. Okay. I'm not really sure about that one. How the hell am I going to put that one out? Okay. Sort of as you are, yeah. Okay. The ship, it's in the morning and you've sort of changed to a more easterly, moving in more of a southeast, well, starting to sort of go slightly southeasterly, heading towards land. You haven't seen the captain all apart from yesterday.
Oh, mate. I've been collecting those 5 coppers, friend.
And you basically, as you're approaching the shoreline, as I said, the mountain range is gone. The hills have gone. It's just bush and forest. That's all you can see. What we can see is that you're sort of heading towards. It's a shoreline that's broken up with many different little what look to be like river mouths. The boats, sort of, they step down the sails. They just put on a half sail. They put out some long oars and they start they're not actually using the oars for propulsion, they're actually using it to guide the ship. As you can see, as they're guiding the ship, something takes hold of one of the oars and manages to pull the oars out of the hand of the men holding it. They try to fight back. What you can see in the water is something grey-green that would be close to around about 24 feet long. Would make a fantastic suitcase if you could actually take it on. But this is either it's a very old crocodile or it's just a very large crocodile for its age. It seems to be quite aggressive. As I said, it's
It's
just...
a crocodile.
Yep,
He's not kicking. Is he attacking the ship, sorry?
he's biting and splintering one of the oars. The minute
Oh,
he's
mate,
into-
I'm loading the crossbow, going to the side that he's attacking and trying to shoot it in the face.
Shoot it in the face. You mean just shoot
Aiming
it?
for one of his beady eyes, mate. But yeah, just in general, hit its major body.
You can try to shoot it in the eye. It's called a call shot, but it's a huge penalty to hit.
No, God, no. I'm going to try hit it, but in my mind, I'm thinking, come on, eye. It's
The baby little weasel.
Don't mention the weasel.
Okay. So make your roll then.
Am I able to ready my crossbow and then take a readied shot first?
Don't think you're
What-
ready. I just splintered the oar.
What I'd probably say is that you can spend a round aiming and get a +1, but that's about it. It is
Alright,
thrashing about in the water, you know.
Sorry,
It's-
just to be clear as well, I'm pretty sure a dex of 17 is +2 to hit, right?
Mhm.
Alright.
Sounds about right. So your thacker
Vaki's sad.
is right. So your crossbow bolt goes sloop into the water, and as it misses the huge crocodile, the guys basically start, like, they've got some long spears and they start poking in the water at it. It just seems to make it more angry. It seems to snap a couple of the spears, and they just basically chuck the oar at it and leave it. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it pretty much destroys the oar. You keep on moving inland. You sort of start passing the riverhead, the mouth. It's not really a mouth, it's just the water is coming out. It gets quite shallow quickly. They're using the oars to keep into a very narrow trench in the middle. Moving along. So apparently this place called Coombe is roughly a mile inland from there. So they're going to be going into the sort of what they call the mangroves. I guess there's freshwater mangroves. I'm not sure there are now. Sort of a mangrovey sort of place more than anything else, with the odd small island of actual dirt, enough dirt to actually have proper trees on it.
Mangroves mean.
Yeah, but really, really tall, quite thick mangroves. There's a couple of times where the boat sort of beaches itself and they've got to move, and where you guys are called on to push with the very long oars, get it off the sandbar or whatever it's come up on, and then they find their way through another route sort of thing. Apparently one of the guys says there's never a simple way to get into this place, because in the mangroves the sand moves all the time. So a way that you've come in last time doesn't usually exist the next time, unless you're really lucky, and we obviously aren't, because we're having to go a different way. So it's going to take them a wee while. It's going to probably take them almost the whole rest of the day to get to Coombe, just because of the navigational difficulties. As you get deeper, you get that whole hot sort of mangrovey, swampy sort of smell coming around. The air starts to fill up with lots of more bugs and things, so you're sort of waking yourself a bit more. The first mate's getting a bit tired of them beaching the thing, so he's got two sounders at the front of the ship, and they keep on throwing sounders down. They've basically, what they're using now is they're using the oars to propel as well as to navigate, because they pulled the sail down. There's just nothing coming into the mangrove itself, enough air, so it's just very slow moving through. And yeah, so the first mate, as I said, is getting a bit angry with the sounders as they move forward, because they're getting it wrong every now and then. It's very slow going, and sometimes they've got to back up a little bit and try a different passageway. What you can see in the mangrove swamp and bush, you do see some fish, you do see some more crocodiles, alligators, whatever it is. That's really interesting, because on the encounter table I asked for freshwater creatures, and it tells me here in the book that crocodiles are normally found in the salt water. So we'll change that to alligators. Interesting. Anyway, there's various birds, some birds that you've never really seen before, some really pretty coloured birds that move. And it's around about early mid-afternoon where you finally sort of get sight of some sort of establishment, because there's some smoke coming up. And the closer you get, you can actually see several sort of buildings. When you sort of arrive at Coombe, what they've done is they've built on the mangroves, and they've sort of put down columns into the water. The houses are built way up off the water, and then more buildings have been built on top of those buildings, sort of thing. So it's all put together with precarious sort of plankways and things that interlink everything together, so that sort of as people are moving through. So people are either in boats, or they're sort of, there's no actual land as such to be in. So then you arrive in Coombe. Coombe is about a dozen to 20 buildings put together. Doesn't look like much. People here, they look like they just managed to make ends meet. Some people are fishing off the side, some people are, everyone's doing something. There's no one's sort of just leaning back and doing nothing. It does seem to be a place of enterprise. Finally, the ship sidles up to a particular gangway, and the first mate announces, well, here's Coombe. We'll have the other 30,
mate.
thank you.
Thea is rushing to get off the ship.
Yeah. I will, settle up with the remaining 30.
Mm-hmm.
And bid them a good voyage, wherever sort of that may take them.
Yep, well, you probably could be coming back this way in a month or so, so if you're here and you need to travel anywhere else, we might be able to do more business.
Well, if we see you again, it will be a grand tale to tell, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
A fine reunion.
Right, so you guys walk off with Bruce, who is quite the object. Lots of kids sort of come up and look at him and pet him, and not quite sure what to make of him.
Bruce.
Bruce the donkey. He's famous, I tell you.
Right, so what are you doing with them?
I'll continue to walk him through the crowd.
So most of these gangways sort of go from like 3 feet wide to around about 8 feet wide. So you don't have like huge crowds, but like you've got kids sort of hanging off things and just running up and touching him and say, "Can I touch him, mister? Will he hurt me?" What is he?
Oh, you got some.
What is it?
You
What
can
is
touch
it?
him. Not yeah. Touch him there, but you can pet him.
Right, so they ask you what it is and all that sort of stuff.
He's a Bruce.
A Bruce, right, and one kid says, a slightly older kid, you sort of see that sort of look in his eyes, he's going to say something. It says, so, do Bruce's taste nice?
No, other than you.
They taste like ass.
Excellent. Okay, so,
Like chewing leather boots.
yeah, okay. So what are they? What good are they?
Oh, as you can see, carry things.
Oh,
Tell me.
won't be good in the swamp. You'll get eaten double quick.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Time
Okay,
shall
so
tell.
yeah, so you're looking for a place to lay down your head, sort of thing.
Yes.
So there is, you do get directed to one old woman who sort of has a room to spare where you can all put in. She says, but that animal ain't coming into my house. It's gonna have to stay outside.
Oh. How rude. Bruce is one of us.
I was about to say, don't talk to Vaki like that.
Ah. Hmm.
Then I shall stay with Bruce.
I'm sure
Mhm.
Bruce will be happy outside.
Okay, so there's a sort of a veranda sort of thing. Okay, so you sort of get into this small room, but at least it's got a door. It's got some high windows that sort of have sort of cloth over it, and it's just got a basic shutter to close it. And she says, you know, don't undo the cloth because the insects will come in at night time and there will be a pincushion by morning. So just be aware of that. And if your friend's going to stay outside, she rattles around in a drawer and she pulls out, she says, you probably want him to apply this so he stays away, the insects stay away from him at night too. And
Yes.
she's
Very well.
asking for four copper pieces.
This is for Bruce's protection, right?
No.
No?
This
She says,
is for the room.
Oh, for the room. That's fine. That's fine. That's all good. No worries.
is someone going to give her the 4 copper pieces?
Yeah, Thea reaches into her pouch and gives her a silver. Asks her what the food situation's like.
She looks at it, she bites it, and says, ah. What? She says, do I get to keep the whole thing?
Yeah, you can keep the whole thing, but
Oh, well, I can put...
again, what is the food situation like?
I'll give you some, breadfruit and some fish stew.
Alrighty. Having said that, could you give us a bit more information about Coombe? We've heard that there's a rather interesting animal living near here, a dragon to be specific.
Well, you don't want to be going there and riling that creature up.
Oh, I assume. But could you give us any information with regards to how Coombe has lived so peacefully with the dragon nearby?
We don't bother it. It doesn't know we're here.
It doesn't know you're here, so there's no
tributes?
There's no tributes, there's no tithes you pay to the dragon, you just sort of keep to yourselves and that's it?
Why the hell would we pay tithes to the dragon? Have you looked around here? We're poor. What could we possibly offer a dragon?
I don't know, human meat, but anyway.
What about other weird guests like ourselves?
Yeah. Yeah, anyone else come through recently asking about the dragon?
She looks a little bit more furtive, a little bit more sort of sideways. She said, well, why would you be interested to know that?
Can we shake some coins in a non-sleazy way, sleazy as possible way?
Well, Fear grabs her coin pouch out and just sort of bounces it in her hand.
Whereas Valky is practically licking his coin pouch, trying to be suggestive.
Oh gosh. She looks at you really weirdly.
Fear jabs him in the rib
if you
with an
could,
elbow.
if you could tell your company's full to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Alright, I start cradling it instead,
Right.
gently.
Right.
Swift jab to the.
Right.
Yeah, swift jab from the elbow.
She said,
into
so,
the-
well,
yeah,
you
ribs.
can answer my question, I might be able to answer your question.
So, I don't think Valky should speak right now, so I'm going to cradle my coin pouch.
Well, there's been some damage to a town near here, and
The dragon
Well,
was
so-
responsible.
there's been some damage to a town near here that may or may not have been associated with the dragon, and there's been some sightings of the dragon doing odd things you wouldn't normally see him doing. So we're just wondering if anyone has dropped by, anyone has been trying to communicate with the dragon recently.
Only a madman or a fool would try to communicate with the dragon, she says. No.
Any madman
Nevertheless,
coming
yeah.
past?
Nevertheless, has there been any madmen or fools, or even people of interest you wouldn't normally see in Coombe, perhaps dressed in fineries you wouldn't normally see stopping past here? Any, yeah.
She sort of wanders off a little bit with her mind. She says, yeah, well, people think old Gertie don't see or hear no nothing, eh? But Gertie, oh, she sees and hears things, but you still haven't answered my question. Why do you need to know?
To save the local township. Good woman. It's a woman, right?
Yes.
An elderly woman. Yes. We've been tasked with finding out. We've been tasked with saving the good people from various towns near here. We fear that there may be a danger to other small villages like your own village, and we're trying to get on top of it before it gets out of hand.
She says, you don't think the big beast would come here, do you?
It could. I mean, there's been sightings around the area, damage done. I know you've lived, cohabitatively with it for a while, but it could come here.
Because
That's why
some
we're trying to figure
fools
this
are
out.
stirring it up, and we just need to find those fools.
She looks at you
Jab.
again and she says, is he
Jab.
for real?
Oh, mate. Valky's in like some power pose right this second.
He's
Okay.
semi for real.
Yes.
He has many bruises on his ribs because we jab him about 20 times a day, but yes, he's for real. Regrettably.
Right. She says, well, I might have seen somebody.
Bounces the coin pouch up and down a couple of times.
So Valky's trying to contain his urges.
and she looks at
Alright.
the coin pouch.
Well, I mean, if you want to protect other villages like your own and potentially your own, it would be great if you could give us the information. Obviously, we'd be willing to make it worth your while.
Mm.
Bounce, bounce. Bounce, bounce.
Well, she says, there was a strange man about 2 weeks ago. He came by a big fancy ship that they couldn't come in, and he came in a small step-up mast boat with a whole lot of men wearing silly metal armour,
Mm-hmm.
What armor, sorry?
all in black. Metal armour. They fall out of that thing, they're going to sink to the bottom.
Yeah, the kind you wouldn't wear in a swamp.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wait, is the town we come from swamp-like, or the town we're going to swamp-like?
You're in a swamp-like town.
Swamp. Yeah, the other town is quite hoi polloi. Fancy as fuck.
So he came off a fancy ship, dressed in fineries and
Well, he
an
came off some
expensive
sort
armor.
of big ship, but I don't know what, I never saw it.
Did they give
Yeah.
you a name, woman? Did you get a name?
I said I saw, I didn't say I heard that
Did
much.
you see a flag with colours on it?
No, but I saw who he was talking to,
Oh.
in the shadows.
Who was he talking to? And did he have any heraldry on his clothes? Were there any
He was
flags?
wearing black clothes.
Black clothes.
Head to foot.
Our friends in the black robes.
No, just nondescript.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
So she goes and talks to her about how she saw this man. Like, they came in, they made a big song and dance of their arrival, spent a bit of money, or spread a bit of money around, not for that much, but she seemed to think that they were trying to get in the good books of everybody.
Lubricated a few palms.
Then she just kept an eye on them when you know, she's got her way.
Got a lot of nosy neighbours, mate.
And yeah, she saw them under O'Dirk's house in a boat talking. She couldn't make out exactly who she was talking to. He was talking to, but he was talking to somebody in the boat, and it wasn't one of his men in the metal armor. It was someone else.
And sorry,
She saw
under
a
what
flash.
under what house did you say?
O'Dirk's.
O'Burke.
O'Dirk.
Okay.
I'm hearing
Hang on.
D for dog, or am I wrong?
Yeah.
O'Burke. O'Dirk.
O'Dirk.
Okay.
Yeah.
O'Dirk.
O'Dirk's.
Under O'Dirk's house in a boat. Alrighty.
A small one of their little boat. The only thing she saw was this other person was wearing some sort of red shirt or something underneath their cloak. They
Red
seemed
shirt
to be having quite a long discussion in the boat. I couldn't get close enough to hear much or anything really, but I did hear them mention the name of the Black Beast.
Sorry, what was that last bit?
The name of the Black Beast.
She said
The
she
name of
would-
the Black Beast. Oh, okay,
Yes.
yep. Yep, so they were discussing the dragon. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And who is this O'Dirk you speak of?
O'Dirk.
Sounds like a real O-jerk.
He's just
Jab.
one of my neighbours. He's a fisherman.
Fisherman, you say? Okay,
Hmm.
fair enough. And where is this O'Dirk's place?
3 houses down around there.
3
She
houses
points
down,
out.
alrighty.
Alright, Barky draws his sword and starts walking towards it.
Oh my god. Can someone restrain him, honestly?
Varky's joking. Varky's just walking and talking in the third person. And Judge Varky.
Lomax, honestly. Rein him in, mate. Lomax.
I'll follow him.
Seems like he's got a lot of constitution.
Yeah, legendary constitution.
Okay, I wonder how much he's expecting.
Captain's.
I hand her a couple of silver pieces and then try to judge the look on her face.
She seems surprised.
Happily surprised?
Mm.
Yeah, alright, that's cool. Yeah, no, I give her a couple of silver. Thank her.
Mhm.
Ask her if she sees anything else or remembers anything else to contact me immediately, and I'll be sure to reimburse her for it.
Mhm.
Yeah, alright. Well, I think we can settle in, maybe get some food. Myself, I'm happy to be on dry land. But
Well,
if you guys want to rush off to O'Dirk's immediately, feel free.
You're saying a tavern or O'Dirk's?
there's no
Yeah,
tavern
Where's
here.
Folmic? Folmic, I'm
That's
missing
basically
Folmic's
the
voice.
I
Where's
know.
Folmic?
Unfortunately, he's not here.
I feel like Folmic would be going to this house first.
Possibly.
He'd probably be
What
pretty game.
What time of the day are we at?
You are in the early afternoon. Sorry, mid-afternoon, because I said that it took
Fishermen
almost
be
all day to get
fishing.
there.
Let's head to the tavern.
There is
Yeah,
no
it's getting
tavern here.
pretty dark. The gangways are pretty slim. We don't want the obviously drunk from digging into the rum rations, Barky slipping off and dying in a mangrove somewhere.
You sure you don't want that? Varky's
Whoa.
gonna die anyway.
Having said that, fair enough. Well, it's up to you guys, but Fee would love to get a meal into her, but yeah.
Done.
Done deal.
Let's go to the tavern.
Alright,
There is no tavern.
Oh,
Barky's now rancorous is the only word I can think to describe
Yeah.
it.
I see a lot of anger. See a lot of anger surfacing soon.
I was about to
You
say
could've-
it'll be some kind of social gathering point, but that'll be it. It won't be
Yeah.
an actual tavern.
Does
Alright,
anywhere serve beer? Ale.
Oh, exactly what do you serve here? A swamp donkey. Oh, so they do know what a fucking donkey is.
Oh
Yeah.
mate, it's a swamp. There's got to be moonshine, surely.
They
Has to be.
they make a substance that would be close to vodka.
Oh, you know what it'll be? It'll be as close to chartreuse as you can get. Want to know why? Because I swear if you take someone's herb garden, pour water in it, let it rot and ferment, bottle it, you've got chartreuse.
Oh mate, Vaki is sold. Sold, mate.
Right.
So where's the local moonshinery?
There is no local.
He said
People
it's like drinking.
I
Patron.
just gather together wherever, and that's it. If they've brought a jug out with them, they brought a jug out with them. If they haven't, they haven't. They just
Oh
talk.
dear God, I'm just setting up camp at
Okay.
Uncle Dirk's house.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, fair enough.
Let's go to
Situation seems pretty bleak. Then again, none of us considered how we're going to get out of here after we've No, my internet. Wait, can people still hear me?
Yep.
People can
No,
still hear me.
I
Yep.
can't hear.
I'm actually gonna have to take off, guys.
Okay.
Oh, I technically
Well,
should take off, but
we'll leave it there for tonight. We will come back next Monday.
Alrighty.
That's
to
all
live
cool.
out this hell in a fucking drinkless, tavernless swamp.
Yeah.
Who
What did you
knows how
expect
long
from
we're going to be
swamp?
here?
I should have gambled for more rum.
There you go. All cool.
God. The return trip.
What return trip? This is our home now.
It sounds pretty bleak, doesn't it? Hang on, I'll just stop the recording.